I have mentioned it before, but I really do hate this game sometimes. Hello everyone and welcome back to more Careering Onwards with me, Mr. Grand 2, here with Liverpool as we face the realistic prospect that we are not going to win the Premier League anytime soon. Oh dear, I mean, I don't even know. Our away form, let's just address that issue before we go into all the details. There's the Premier League table, we'll talk about that in a second. Our away form, it's not that bad. We have the third best away form in the league. We're level with City and only 1 point behind Spurs in terms of away form. But recent away form has been dreadful. There's the Premier League table. Last time we should have overtaken Manchester City and gone top of the league by beating Newcastle. We didn't do it. We choked. We completely and utterly choked. And we were 1 point behind them. It wasn't the end of the world. We are now, if we win our game in hand, which is a big if, given our recent form, we'll be 4 points behind because we have choked once again, losing to Wolves. Again away from home. It was again 2-1. And again, just like the Newcastle game, it was absolutely dreadful. We were woeful. Every single player. Their ratings don't really show it, other than Jacobson, who got a start because Colin Nicholson was injured and Moussa Dembele is still really unhappy. He's refusing to sign a new contract, so he will be leaving on a free at the end of the season, which is fantastic news for the balance sheets. But other than that, no one's rating was bad, but we just were rubbish overall. That's the problem. So it's going to take a complete miracle. We are going to need to win every single game until the end of the season. And bearing in mind, we're still going to play Tottenham, we're still going to play Chelsea, we're still going to play Arsenal, and the Chelsea game's away from home. I think realistically it's not going to happen this season, and we may well find our head on the chopping block if that is indeed the case, which is why the Champions League is so important. And we're going to play both legs against RB Leipzig today. The only other game in between, we did win the FA Cup quarter-final against Southampton, which I suppose is something. We've got Brighton in the semi-final of that. The other semi-final is Aston Villa versus Tottenham, so a good chance we could win the FA Cup again, but I've already won the FA Cup. I'd love to win the FA Cup again, but I'm here for a Premier League title. So once again, we find ourselves in a position where we need Manchester City to drop points, to drop multiple points, to fail to win 2 matches. Once again, we have failed to live up to the ability of this squad, really. And I think if we are here next season, then there's some serious questions that need to be asked over several players. I'm going to highlight Trent Alexander-Arnold in particular. 7.03 average rating is good, but it's not that amazing for a fullback. When you compare him to Rafinha, who's on a 7.29 average rating, it's not great. Are we getting the best out of the right back position? We've done a team meeting. Everyone's morale is still pretty poor. I think I'm going to, in a second, just go and individually praise them, just try and get their morale up a little bit. But the only thing that's really going to get their morale up is a win today. That's all we can really hope for to change things around. So the team for this one's going to be Alisson in goal. We need him to be on form because if we don't win this, he's going to leave in this summer. Rafinha, Foucher, Van Dijk and Aarons is going to be the defence because Trent Alexander-Arnold, as you may have just seen, is injured. De Jong, Bentancur and Paqueta is the midfield. Vignato is going to be on the right hand side because Vujovic recently has been pretty terrible. Richard is going to be on the left because Salah has been excellent still, but he's lacking a little bit of fitness. I can't afford him to get injured. And then Moussa Dembele is going to be up front. Colin Nicholson, as we said, was injured. He's just about recovered, but he's only going to be fit enough for the bench. And so, RB Leipzig, pretty kind draw, you would say, and we are away from home in the first leg though, so we're probably going to lose. Maybe we've won 1 away game in our last 8 away matches. It's not great. Very youthful team from Leipzig, as you would expect. Lots of regens, that is their sort of style, but Konate and Mukulele are very experienced back too. And then Radovan Susnajar, who you may recall we sold when we were in our 1 season of management at Borussia Monchengladbach. He has not been prolific and he has got a finishing of 9, which is not great, but probably will score loads today. Right, we need to win this game. I think we need to win this game. Realistically, I think that winning the Champions League is the only thing that's going to keep me in my job for sure. And because of how tight the league is, you saw the league table. We're currently down in 5th. We still have games in hand. Here's a goal for Leipzig. There we go. Jörg Heinz or Henze scores. I was going to say we're in danger of not even qualifying for the Champions League if our form doesn't improve, and this is not helping that one. We are 1-0 down. Of course we are, away from home. I think I did briefly use the other tactic, which we haven't used for ages. I used it against Wolves, and then they scored, so I went back to the other one, and then they scored again. But at least we did get a goal back. I don't know is the answer to all this. I don't know. Well, we're being absolutely annihilated. They are completely dominating that game, and they've completely dominated the first half. Absolutely terrible. Show me something else in the second half, please. Not good at all. Vignato and Richard have been given the nod today, and they're not really taking the opportunity, are they? Right, we're seeing absolutely nothing from us. Not a single thing. I'm bringing Salah on. I'm bringing Vujovic on. Show me why you should be in the team. Salvador's going to come on as well because Paqueta has been dreadful too. Triple change, it's a bit of a risk, and immediately there's a highlight for Leipzig. Schultz with a wild shot. That's only the second highlight of the game, so it's not the most interesting one. At this stage, I'd probably take a 1-0 defeat. Well, is there some sort of tiny bit of hope? Brighton have taken the lead against Manchester City in the Premier League. This is going on at the same time. Vujovic heads over. If the Brighton are 2-0 up, okay. City have been dreadful this season. Absolutely dreadful, and yet we cannot capitalise on their failures. We really can't. We're going to lose this one unless we get a late goal here. Final highlight. We've been very poor once again away from home. It could be 2-0. It is 2-0. Serkan Oza makes it even more difficult than it already was. We haven't done it. We have not seen a single highlight from us. I don't remember the last time we haven't had a single highlight. We're rubbish. We've become completely rubbish at the most critical moment of the entire season. At least City have lost. That's something. Absolutely dreadful performance once again from every single player on the pitch. Good to see Vujovic and Salah both came off the bench and were absolutely useless. Really impressive stuff. United beating Barcelona 5-1 there. That's certainly encouraging. It's dreadful. It's completely dreadful. That's 3 away games in a row we've lost. The last time we won away from home was against Watford back in February. We're playing Middlesbrough. They're bottom of the league at home next. That is absolutely must win. And if we don't win that, then we're in all sorts of bother. At least City lost. That's something. Actually, we're in a situation now where even still, if we win our 2 games in hand on them, then we'll still be 1 point behind them, which is ridiculous. The amount of games they've lost, and yet they're still top of the league. But yeah, everyone else is caught up. We've got games in hand on everyone else, but Spurs are right there, United are right there, Arsenal are right there. Our recent form is shocking. The thing is, I don't feel that there's a better opportunity to beat Manchester City, given how poor they've been and how many points they've dropped. The fact that we have not capitalised at all, it's just a really big concern. It's a really big concern. Colin Nicholson, we need him to step up. We need him to deliver. We can hold a team meeting before the Middlesbrough game, which really belies how important it is. We're going to play the whole game. We'll play 3 full games today because there was barely anything happening in the Leipzig game anyway. We're expected to win the title. I don't think we are expected to win the title. This is a big match in our pursuit of the title. Winning it will do our chances of the world of good. We'll go with that. They love that. That has certainly helped the morale a little bit. Not really for many players, but increases it a little bit, which can only help. Well, Man City are playing Wolves. Hopefully they can do us a bit of a favour, but never mind that. We just need to focus on ourselves, really, because we have just been so poor recently. It's unbelievable. But some changes need to be made. Trent Alexander-Arnold is still injured. I'm bringing Salvador back in for Frankie de Jong, and I'm bringing Vujovic back in. Nicholson's recovered from his injury as well. Salah is also fresh enough to start. Now, obviously, it's all very well and good if Man City keep losing, but we've seen everyone else is right up in this. United are in this. Spurs are in this, and especially Arsenal. We've still got to play Arsenal and Spurs. Don't forget that. That is going to be, well, potentially very, very bad, but we've got to win this game today. Bottom of the league, Middlesbrough at Anfield. If we don't win this, then we might as well just resign. We're coming forwards from kickoff. This is the kickoff highlight. Salah across. Vujovic hits the bar. 12 minutes in, we haven't found the breakthrough yet, but judging by our recent performance, it's not surprising. Rafinha running in, it's a very poor effort from him again. I mean, there's so many games where we've had lots of chances down the left-hand side. Vujovic scores. That's a relief, at least. There's so many games where we've had chances down the left-hand side where they've just run it into the goalkeeper's gloves, which I'm sure they fixed in the patch a while ago, but maybe not. Who knows? Who cares? We've scored. Vujovic is, to me, a mile offside, but apparently they're not going to call. Let's have a look at this. He looks so offside, it's ridiculous. He's just being played on by the left back. I mean, slightly unfortunate for Middlesbrough there, but we've got the lead back up to second. I mean, we need to at least get a second, don't we? Vujovic on the right again, crosses to Aarons, who hits the bar again. I mean, at least we've scored, but that's the second time we've hit the crossbar. We do that quite a lot. Coming up to half-time, nothing else has happened. We need to get a second goal just to make this safe. Bentancur to Paqueta. It's a save again. It's come off the post. Another time we've hit the woodwork. It's almost ridiculous at this point. Corner comes in, goes pretty much straight out. And at half-time, we are leading. We are dominating, but just one goal. That's all we've got. I've said I'm pleased. I'm not really pleased. City are still drawing. That is pleasing. United drawing with Watford as well. That's also very helpful for us, given how close they are. Salah with a free kick. Can this please go in? Yes, it can. Virgil van Dijk rises highest, as he so often does, to give us a second goal just over the line. But, I mean, they all count. That should make things a little bit safer for us. Salah with the corner. Nicholson, glorious opportunity, which of course he fails to score. I mean, with Dembele leaving, that leaves a space at the striker. I'm not sure Jacobson's the man. I've got my eye on a few other strikers. They're going to be very expensive as Man United score, but Nicholson clearly not. He's just not up to it. He's not performed this season, considering the amount we've spent on him and the expectation that at least I had for him. He's not been good enough. And Man City have scored in the 88th minute. I hate them so much. We've won 2-0, but they've beaten Wolves, which of course we failed to do twice this season. We've clawed our way back up the table, obviously, with that. But, yeah, I mean, we've still got 2 games in hand on them. 2 games in hand on Man United as well. No games in hand on Arsenal and Spurs. Level with the pair of them. I mean, it's doable, but we really could have done with City drawing with Wolves there. That would have been lovely. Alas, it's not to be. At least we're not as far behind as Barcelona against Manchester United, but still not good. Bentancur is not fit for this one, and that means I'm going to bring in Gedson Fernandes, because actually he was really good when he played. I kind of just he's not had much of a look in, but you know, why not? We're bringing him in. Is Trent Alexander-Arnold even close to fitness? Not even close. Not even close. Aaron's at least got an assist in the last game, so that is going to be the only change. We need 2 goals to force extra time, 3 to win. I can just hope that they're maybe a little bit complacent. Maybe I think that's probably too much to ask for. Quite a few changes to their team though, so maybe they are. Yeah, I mean, we only scored 2 goals against Middlesbrough, who've pretty much been relegated already, so I'm not optimistic against a very strong defence like Leipzig, but we've got to try. Right, I'm not going to go attacking yet. We're going to stay unbalanced for now, but if needs be, we will absolutely go and attack them and hopefully get a bit more of a breakthrough, because yeah, not even a 1-0 win, that's not even good enough, is it? We need goals. Half an hour in and we've seen nothing. We're apparently dominating in terms of shots and in terms of possession, but nothing. We're going attacking because we're not going out without a fight. Vujovic has got himself injured. Brilliant stuff. Really good. It's not like we didn't need him. I mean, he's been really poor recently, obviously, but still. Half-time, 0-0. We've seen absolutely nothing. It's not good enough. Show me something else in the second half. Show me anything in the second half. Rafinha's got a knock and he's tired, but I can't do much about that. Fernandes, that was clearly an inspired selection choice. Finally a highlight in the 54th minute. We're apparently attacking. Can we actually please see some attacking? Nicholson on the right-hand side. Ball back across to Vignato. He scored. Emmanuel Vignato finally breaks the deadlock. Finally gets us a goal in this tie. Off the bench. Gives us some hope. Gives us a lifeline. We are back in this. Need another goal at least. Absolute minimum. Watford are beating Spurs. That's potentially good for our hopes of qualifying for next season's Champions League / not finishing 5th. That would be good. Here come Leipzig though. Only the second highlight of the entire game. Playing it around at the back. Can we see some pressure? Nicholson trying to do something. They've been slipped in to Geraldo. Van Dijk wins it back though, and we can hopefully break. Not like that though. Van Dijk gives it away. Luckily Alisson makes the save, but absolutely appalling from Virgil van Dijk. Do not expect to see that from him. He's still physically good enough. He's our most experienced player. Need to be doing better than that. Fernandes beats 1, beats 2, still going. Gedson Fernandes, what an opportunity that was. It's saved in the end, and we've got a corner. Salah puts it in. It's cleared. Back to Salvador. Salah again. Weak shot. Oh, not like this. Come on, let's at least force extra time. Salah across. Foucher. It's been cleared off the line. It's a great save from the goalkeeper. Oh, we're going to have to go very attacking, I think. There's not really much else we can do. Are there any substitutions we can make? I don't want to take Salah off, but I think maybe we have to. He's not been particularly bad, but not particularly good either. Do we go very attacking? There's 12 minutes left in this one. Van Dijk to Vignato. Salvador. Gedson Fernandes. Just about gets it to Paquetá. Running forwards. Please don't shoot from there. He doesn't. Aarons. Can he find a ball across? Vignato. Aarons again. Where is this going to end up? Aarons has another go at it. Nicholson's there. Colin Nicholson. I don't know what just happened, but he scored. That looked really strange. The amount of times that Max Aarons managed to put this ball in the box, it finally pays off. Fernandes, or Nicholson hits it off the defender, then hits it off the defender's back, and it flukes its way in. Not the best finish ever, but we're forcing extra time at the moment. Time is ticking away. Can we get a winner, or is there going to be some late heartbreak? I don't think there is going to be anything. It's going to be another 30 minutes of this, which will probably end in a penalty shootout. Right, encourage them. They have been better. They really have been the better team, and we've rescued ourselves here, but we still need to do more. We've still got 3 substitutions to make, and there's injuries all over the place. Gedson Fernandes is in a lot of space. Paquetá's put it across to Max Aarons, who's very injured. Doesn't matter. His fitness is dreadful. He can't. He's hobbling towards the celebration. He can't get there. Vignato scored his second of the game. I mean, Aarons, he's hobbling down. He's put the ball across. Vignato puts it in. He can't make it to celebrate. He's so tired. He's going to have to probably come off in a second. But we've got the lead. Well, in the tie, with 3-0 up. This could be even more. Salah across. It's a foul. It's a penalty, which Vignato's taking. And that I didn't want him to do that, but he has scored. It's 4-0, 4-2. We are looking incredibly good. Leipzig now need 2 goals just to keep this one alive. And well, that would then put them through, wouldn't it? Because they'd be away goals. Right, changes need to be made because everyone's tired, but only really because Aarons and Rafinha both have an injury. So we need to make a change. Let's not muck it up. Right, second period. We need to change this. Salah off for Richard. Can't afford him to get injured. Jamal Lewis on for Rafinha as well, and Max Aarons off for Joe Gomez. Right, there we go. We've done it all. Wow, I mean, we've saved ourselves a spirited second half, a final flurry, and then in extra time, the momentum was with us, and it ends Liverpool 4, RB Leipzig 0. Liverpool win 4-2 on aggregate. Goodness me, that was... Well, it ended up being a lot more one-sided than it really was. That was a very good performance, actually. We were very good in that. Leipzig didn't really offer all that much. And that was the most clinical we've been for a few weeks, and it's a big relief. Oh, goodness gracious me. We have made it through to the Champions League semi-finals. Not too bad at all. I mean, we kind of were pushing our luck there. Vujovic is injured. He's out for 10 to 12 days, which is not actually that bad in terms of both the injury and because Vignato has just come and scored a hat-trick in his place. So maybe we won't miss him all that much. Now our semi-final opponents will be either Bayern Munich or Inter Milan. Let's check in with the first leg of that one. Inter leading the tie 2-1. Both of those are away goals as well. So you have to say Inter looking like our most likely opposition in that one, which would certainly be quite good. Although they've won quite a few Serie A's. They're doing very well for themselves in the save. But certainly going to be interesting. We've got Brighton in the FA Cup semi-final as well, which you'll find out about next time. There's still so many matches left to play. There's a lot still to play for, but it's going to be interesting. We will play. This may well change. Well, it's definitely going to change because the Arsenal game that's been moved twice already is scheduled for the Wednesday, so that will probably change. But we're going to be back next time. We will focus on the Champions League semi-final. We'll probably play both legs in the episode, probably with some sort of important Premier League game in between. I mean, every Premier League game is important between now and the end of the season. We could play Chelsea, we could play Arsenal. I would like to play Arsenal in an episode, but then at the same time, I kind of wouldn't because we'll probably end up losing. I don't know. It'll be Bayern Munich and some sort of Premier League football because we are still in this. It looks really bad now because we're in 5th, but obviously we do still have a couple of games in hand on pretty much everybody above us apart from Arsenal. Spurs actually did lose to Watford just then, which is quite good. I mean, so if we win, and it's a massive if, but if we win our 2 games in hand, we will go up to 2nd. So it should look a little bit better, but we are still reliant on City dropping points. What is their run-in? They've still got to play Arsenal as well as Everton, who are relatively difficult, and then Cardiff, Fulham and Aston Villa is a very kind last 3 games. So it's not looking likely, is it? But we're still there. We're still fighting on 3 fronts, technically, for now. We'll have to see what happens. But thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well so you don't miss the next one. And I will see you next time. We're getting close to the end of the season. Are we getting close to the end of Liverpool's long wait to win a Premier League title? I think we're more likely getting to the end of our spell at Liverpool before we are inevitably sacked. We'll have to wait and see.